Welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. I'm doing Talking Tarot, so feel free to drop your questions in. I'll be shuffling decks, getting ready. Hopefully you're having a good day. Starting off a great weekend. And hopefully your week's been pretty good so far. Job search is underway. I'm not expecting any instant hires on the spot, so scheduling for next week is still Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But after that, I'm going to be less certain because I do want to start working sooner rather than later. But yeah, we'll see. And then I still need to register so that I can set this up and make things more official. Have some commercial options. There's that too. I should probably do it too. This one got a lot of usage last time, so it'll be better for mixing up the cards. And quite busy session last time, but so far our numbers are doing okay with the restream limit. Well, opt out of paying up for that. Hey, Amna. Doing well. How are you? Ooh, that's right. Good question. When will I meet him? That part I don't know about. I was thinking about I don't know if I'll be able to do physical hints. Oh, thanks. Just try. I mean, like, if I got the inspiration, then yeah, by all means. But the cards in and of themselves, it's usually going to be more qualities of the people. So I've been thinking about it. I think I could do like a 3-piece, and then there's cards for what he is like, cards for what you are like, because you might need a change as a person before that happens, and then cards for details about the relationship. Yeah, physical appearance is hard unless I really see it somehow. And then timeline. Yeah, that one's, I don't know. I mean, Wednesday I did something that had a timeline deadline aspect to it. But that's not usually the case. And I think that's probably my first instance, so it'll be interesting how that turns out. She's pretty active, so hopefully I hear how that sounds. Whether I got that one right. The hint about stuff. Yeah, let me set up the destiny here. Sorry, I'm still holding the deck in one hand. Otherwise, that would go faster. Okay. So yeah, left side will be future person. Middle is about the relationship. Right side will be you. If I get something more specific, I'll let you know. Um, yeah, let's see. Make sure. Um, yeah, yeah, that's good. That's right. Nice. That's correct. I'm getting more for them than I am for you. That's sort of. Um, Mhm. That's interesting. Okay. Just pulled a run of cards, basically. I'm not sure what that's going to make them. It's complicated, isn't it? Um, Run. Where is that? Yeah, well, yeah, still placing cards. Um, oh, it's fine. I'm just going through the deck. Gotta figure out which cards are relevant. I mean, for the most part, when doing a reading, um, you have a few positions in your spread, and you'll have a card in each position. Um, in this case, it's kind of like three open-ended aspects. And then, well, I mean, it just took a while processing that we've got to run a four, basically. Because now your question's fine. Um, if there's some, I do custom spreads for custom questions. And this one's just involving more cards. Yeah. I think I've found all the cards. Let me make sure I understand what they are. Because we've got a run of 4. We've got 3 pairs, one of which I think is tempered. Okay. More or less equals. Okay. More or less equals. Okay. Okay, and runs off the mat, but we'll go over what we've got. Yeah, we'll just have to work out. There we go. Sorry about that. This should know that it should be muted. Annoying feedback. Anyways. Okay. So I'll do my best. This is sort of my view of it. So we've got roughly catch up. The left half here, the future spouse, future person. Right part here, that's you. This card, this is in your area, but it's touching onto the relationship section, which is in the middle. I'm not sure how that run of 4 is going to work out. I just haven't had that before. This is my tempered pair. So there's the primary card in front, and then the secondary card tempers it. But then these other pairs are more or less equal, is the impression I get. So they're duos, they're pairs. So yeah, this is tempered for him, pair for him, and then 2 standalones. We've got the equal in the relationship, the standalone, and then the run of 4. We've got this card for you touching on the relationship, presumably having something to do with those cards, and then 2 more standalones. And now, before my arm falls off, let's start flipping these. So that is 5 of swords. This is 7 of cups. Up here, there are pairs, so that's not so important. We've got the tower and ace of pentacles. That's just going to be a mess to flip, but we've got 10 of wands, 5 of wands, page of cups, and strength. So I'll spread those out. We've got Goddess Joya. That's a card unique to this deck. It relates to life paths, which I'm not super familiar with the systemology of that. 8 of wands and the pair 2 of pentacles. Your card touching on that is ace of wands. Let's flip this tempered pair. It's the 2 of swords, tempered by knight of swords. Sorry if I'm loud there, getting close to the mic. Hopefully this stays straight. And then over here, we've got 4 of pentacles, and then the lovers out in the corner. Okay. So if you need me to go back on them, if we need to look at them again, and I probably should just because there is so much going on. We pulled a lot of cards there. So we'll just go back to that, and then, yeah, if there's inspiration, I'll try to interpret that. Let's start with them, and let's start with their single cards. So there was 7 of Cups, and I'll put the guide up. There was 7 of Cups, and then we'll do 5 of Swords. So 7 of Cups is shown with 7 floating chalices, each offering a gift or beginning. It is, up to you to discern what is feasible. You are confronted with many choices, and while the 7 card brings the potential for incredible opportunities, it is unclear what is real and what is fantasy. You need to make a choice by paying attention to your intuition. Go with the flow and trust that you have a higher wisdom to make the correct decisions. As it has been said, what is meant for you will not pass by you. So, a lot of potential in this person. That's the big thing. There might be some aspects of daydream might be the wrong word, but they might see paths and opportunities, in the abstract, that may or may not be there. So that's where the confusion. I don't know if you saw the keywords. There was opportunity and confusion. Probably the big thing here is that they have potential, is what I'm pulling out of that. And you'll probably be able to sense that by how realistically they see multiple paths, whether or not all of those paths are feasible. Let's go to the 5 of Swords. And we'll probably need to recap just because there's a lot of cards. Represents battle and loss, conflict and contradiction. Perhaps you are unsure whether you must go through with the situation due to misaligned thoughts or ethical dilemmas. As these thoughts persist, you must realize that you must not give up. There are conflicts that must be resolved. Think about what you are fighting for and pick your battles. This card shows up when you must think before you act. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is retreat when the battle is over, rather than fighting a war that cannot be won. Interesting. The notes, the keywords on that are conflict and upheaval. As far as how you're going to see that in the person, I mean, gosh, they'll have their dilemmas. I don't know if that's going to be apparent to you, though, from the outside. That might be something that you pick up on as you get to know them. So, yeah. And it sort of makes sense. With the 7 of Cups, they can see multiple paths, and then, well, some of them don't work. And 5 of Swords, they've got to reconcile with that, make their choices. Let's go on to... it doesn't really say what the potential is for. Yeah. I mean, it's a chalices, it's a cups card. So usually that suit deals with emotions. I mean, we haven't read anything that says this is a new person or an old person. So it could be. But let me get to the other pairs, and then we'll recap what we know about that person. because hopefully that'll paint a better picture, and we'll be able to get a pulse on them. Yeah, let's go with the pair up top. So there's the Tower, which also has some upheaval associated with it. And there's the Ace of Pentacles is the other one. Sorry, so let's start with the Tower. One of the most dreaded cards in the deck. This card is a representation of destruction. The Tower comes up when everything in your life feels like it is crumbling away, and you have no control over the collapse. The message is that we must surrender to the power of the Tower and work on accepting the shift in awareness that it offers. The Tower marks a point of awakening. It is a necessary stage of breakdown so that we can evolve, expand, and rebuild. The weak foundation of your life must be torn away in order to build a strong foundation in its place. Once the clearing away happens, your purpose is illuminated. And then this is paired with Ace of Pentacles. So let's get that one as well. Did I just find... Let's look for Ace. Oh, there's a lot of aces, huh? The Cups, we want Pentacles. Oh, there it is. Is auspicious for every aspect of your life. Two hands appear from a cloud, offering a single coin. This coin is the only one in this deck that looks the way it does, with the rays flaring out, as if to emphasize its value. This card predicts happiness and contentment. You can always have what you desire. It also predicts prosperity, as you will find that money will come to you quickly as a win. So this is in contrast with the Tower. There's a huge upheaval, but then after that, it seems like almost like the morning sun breaking, bright and beautiful dawn sort of imagery. As far as, well, given that for you to be able to recognize this in the person, like that, they would have to be getting past the Tower. So they would have gone through a certain amount of upheaval. Well, a pretty decent amount is what I'm getting. But after reconciling with that, it seems like it's smooth sailing with the Ace of Pentacles. They've got that gift coming to them. Let's go to the Tempered pair. I want to talk about how things relate, but we should really go over the whole person first. So they've got Two of Swords is the primary one, and then that's Tempered. Oh, hey, Zena. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this one for Amna will take a little while, but yeah, we'll get to yours. Feel free to come back. Yeah, this might take a while. And that's not bad, Amna. It's just what it is. Two of Swords. Sometimes it is difficult to see which way you must go. The Two of Swords represents that conflicting ideas must be resolved so that you can see the clear path ahead. There may be many choices that you are presented with at this time. You must create a quiet mental space and to seek clarity. The solution may not be obvious. However, in order to make a decision, you must rest and restore your inner peace. This can be done through meditation. Take a moment of rest before you make an important decision. I mean, that's making sense, especially with the Seven of Cups. Five of Swords probably has its place in that too. Let's get... Oh, The Knight of Swords. The one tempering it. The classic knight in charming armor, ready to defend the honor of another. This card shows up when a decision must be made, and there is a quick change in life situations. Perhaps there are unpredictable times ahead. Sudden truths may reveal themselves. Underlying conflicts may be illuminated. There may be a dispute at work or in a family dynamic. You may not be the cause for these circumstances, but the way you recover is what matters. The energy of this card is driven and assertive. You may be fighting for what you believe in, but it is important to take responsibility for your actions. Ultimately, you are the one who will deal with the outcome. Fight wisely. And this was tempering the Two of Swords and their decisions. That one, I feel like that one has more gravitas, more weight to it. It's okay, Amna. I mean, this stuff ends up on YouTube. Xena's on YouTube, so she'll be able to come back and view the video easily. I mean, I guess that's true for Facebook too. But while I've got the cards, I might as well finish. So, so let's recap. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got a lot of potential, a lot of possible paths, some of which might not be realistic. There's that fantastical element to some of this. There was the Five of Swords, where there's conflict, picking and choosing your battles. And that comes up again with the Two of Swords and having to make a choice. Has more weight. Yeah, Cups is usually associated with water. And that's tempered by the Knight, who's fighting and holding firm. So those might be different areas. Because like Two of Swords mentioned, it could be something with, well, I'm not sure if it did, but I could see that being a family matter or a relationship thing. Whereas Five of Swords, I would see that more like work or drama with friends or something. And the decisions having to be made there. And then we've got the Tower and that upheaval and the bright future coming ahead. Oh, wifey, sorry. So they've been through hard times. We know that much, and they're still making difficult choices. But there's kind of a shine to this person and how they approach it. They see so many opportunities. We get that from the Seven. There's the Knight in shining armor that's backing up their choices that they make. And there's that Ace of Pentacles following on the Tower. So, kind of a silver lining person. Gosh, I don't know King of Swords well enough off the top of my head. Stirring the fair. His focus is justice and truth. Action, however, must remain calm and have good judgment when this card arrives in the ring. Going through an intensive time at work or your studies, take the initiative and make some decisions. Logical and intelligent decision-making skills are being asked of you. Move forward with fairness and authority. Parts of it. There's sort of like the focus is on the mind, and the moving forward with fairness and authority. We don't necessarily have that. Especially where at the heart of this person, we had the Seven of Cups. Let me go back to showing this so we can see the cards as well. That can stop talking. And flip the camera. Okay. And then I don't know as far as that marriage aspect. Let me, when I get to the relationship stuff, we can revisit that and see if there's any indication there. Because the Seven of Cups, that was the center of this person. And this cup's water tends to have emotions, is the characteristic associated with this suit. So as far as like clarity of mind and logic, I don't know that that's this person's strong suit. They might be leaning more on intuition, higher wisdom, which I'm pretty sure is what was recommended up here with their pair, with the Tower and the Ace. And somewhat so with the Knight of Swords, with the Fight Wisely. But wisdom and knowledge aren't necessarily the same. So I'm not sure what kind of smarts they would have. I mean, solid trial and tribulation going on and having to make choices. But this person has come out better for it. Like, they've got all sorts of opportunities, and like silver lining is this person clinging to that and chasing that down. Yeah, I didn't really get anything on physical characteristics for this person. So yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if the knight in shining armor, but yeah, no, really, these are traits more than yeah, characteristics. Yeah, not so much on the physicality. Let's go ahead and, assuming that's good, I'll move on to the relationship stuff. Let me set this down. Or actually, I guess let me, because I think you guys on the live can, need cord. Okay. I think you guys on the live can rewind to see stuff. So as far as the Four of Run, we had the Ten of Wands, Five of Wands, Page of Cups, and the Strength, Major Arcana. We had Goddess Joy, I'll read that one. And then down here we had Knight of Wands along with Two of Pentacles. And then you were touching on that. Okay. Well, I figure you are, but just with the nature of video and whatnot, I think you can jump back and forth if you need to. So yeah. I kind of want to just work through how they were read, so I'll start with that run of 4, and we'll try to go through them quickly because it's the collective that is going to be speaking. Keep going. Oh, do we not have? It's probably because the 10s are special in some way. Let me find a 9 of Wands and then scroll down from there. Yep. The 10 of Wands reveals the completion of a personal journey or a creative cycle. As you near the finish line, you may feel the burden of the work you have put in. You may have been overly committed with responsibilities or lost sight of the reason you are doing the work. This card reveals that you may need to look for support. The situation will not change until you let go and release the burdens. Have faith that with balance in your life, you can work hard and bring your dreams to life. Sometimes the 10 of Wands also comes up when you or the person you are reading for has too much going on and they are not receptive to the messages coming through. We'll go back to that as if we need to. I'll do my best to remember. But 5 of Wands was the second. So, represents a competition. The message is to stay strong in your position and do not compromise. Although there is not an outright battle, it is more about misunderstandings. The source of struggle may be an inner conflict. Perhaps you are faced with difficult decisions that must be made, and there is an inner power struggle with your thoughts. This card calls for a test of strength and a competitive spirit. Conversely, the Five of Wands could also mean several people coming together in a concentrated effort toward a common goal. Stand in your truth and allow the chaos to calm. This will move you towards victory. So most likely, stubborn people trying to work it out. Not that you would really be considered stubborn, but that's sort of the idea. People standing in their truth, working out. You'll have that a lot in a relationship. Page of Cups is a messenger. The page brings a message about the emotional aspects of your life, such as love or happy news about relationships, children, finances. When this card shows up, it could also indicate that something new is about to begin. It is a reminder to feel young at heart. Perhaps love is on the horizon. The Page of Cups can also be an individual who is artistic, a dreamer, and intuitive. Perhaps a good friend who may soon introduce you to some other friends in their circle. Allow your intuition to guide you toward the most appropriate meaning behind this card, so that the message it brings with it comes forward in the most meaningful way. And I'll do my best to interpret that. And then let's pull in Strength. Shows us that you turn to your higher wisdom for self-guidance. She demonstrates strength of character when dealing with pressure. This card tells us that courage, determination, and patience are needed now, and with grace and compassion, the situation must be dealt with. This card tells us that we are ready to take on the challenge and stand firm without using brute force, because we are courageous enough to handle whatever we are facing, and this too shall pass. When facing this situation head on, we will come out of it with more power and dignity. So that was similar to the Five of Wands, with that competition, but also the potentially creative part. But there was the standing firm in your truth sort of thing. So those two have a great synergy. There's the 10 and the burdens that you might need to be letting go of before you can progress. That'll be interesting. Obviously, we pick up our baggage as we move through life. It could be for that relationship to progress, like people will need to set that down. And yeah, that makes sense. And especially where you've also got Five of Wands and Strength. You don't just want to roll over when someone needs to let go of their baggage, but you also don't want to play dead either for them when you have something to say as well. Like you might need to make changes. But because it could be you, well, probably both, but it could be you with the burdens. You probably both have burdens. So yeah, there's going to be struggles there working that out. And then the Page of Cups. I mean, the friends thing stuck out to me, so I don't know if this is someone you're going to meet via a friend. Sounded like a creative friend, but let me double check on that. That one needed me to lean on intuition a bit. The emotional aspect, such as love, happiness, something new is about to begin. Young at heart, perhaps love is on the horizon. Guide you towards the most appropriate. I think there's kind of three parts to that one. I mean, obviously this is for a relationship. I think the fact that it is a love relationship is part of it. There's also the part speaking towards the beginning, towards the start of the relationship, which also makes sense with the Five of Swords, Strength, and the Ten of Wands we've discussed. Like, people who survive marriage, it's because they survived the first part, and that's where you find out all those differences you didn't know about, all those quirks and traits, and then work through them together. I still feel like, yeah, it says perhaps a good friend, but I feel like, yeah, it's probably a good friend. Maybe will introduce you to them. Is sort of the impression I get. So that's, yeah, that doesn't synergize as well, that piece of it, but yeah, the rest of it, that going together, I think that's, excuse me, speaking to the start of the relationship. Okay, let's go to Goddess Joy. Oh, the guide is small. I'm sorry about that. Well, there it is. Of course, I've been reading it, so it shouldn't be too terrible. Let's read Goddess Joya. Let's have to find her by name. There she is. Life Path 22 is a card that symbolizes the Master Manifester, or the Master Builder. When you receive this card in a reading, the message is clear that in whatever you are working on, you must be an inspirational presence. This card is very powerful in a reading because it talks about your impact in whatever you are seeking. This card shows up to remind you that you have an enhanced ability to apply your spiritual understanding to your life. You are a visionary. You will have the ability to make it happen, to turn the dreams into a reality, and to build whatever structures are necessary to create the success you are striving for. And then this is speaking to it's part of the relationship. Yeah, I think the part of it is visionary. You guys will have, well, you guys will collaborate on the vision. One or you might have more on that, or he might have more on that, or she, I guess. I don't know. But you guys will have a strong vision of what the relationship should be like, which, I mean, makes some sense with the conflict and whatnot we got at the start of it. But yeah, I think you guys are synergized on the long term, what this is supposed to be. So I think that's all there is there. So let's move on to the Eight of Wands and Two of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Is one of the most positive cards in this suit, along with the Ace. It predicts a lot of communication in the form of emails, phone calls, and exciting offers. If you have felt held back by waiting for decisions, positive news will flow to you. Your creative ideas and endeavors have wings, and they are moving forward with comfort and ease. In relationships, this card can bring great news about love, especially if you have been separated from a partner recently, or if you are waiting to hear from one. There is a quick energy associated with this card, so whatever you are waiting for will come quickly. Let me get the pair, the Two of Pentacles, because there's different ways that could be applying. Let's see how these two connect. There we go. Symbolizes the ability to balance more than one thing at the same time. 2 is a number of partnerships, and this card focuses on two opposing forces. The tension between these two forces keeps the coin spinning until a decision is made. The card comes up primarily as a finance card, which is typical for Pentacles, but we know what we're asking about. Pay close attention to financial and property matters, and you will manage well. Growth comes with movement. You are being asked to balance your body and mind while standing in your truth as you effect change in the world. Stay adaptable to the transitions that are coming up in your life and handle whatever life presents you with grace, while trusting that you are being led toward a place of stable growth. Yeah, flurry is the sense I'm getting. And I feel like this is leading up to the relationship. Whether all that news, all that communication is like with friends talking about relationships, or if it's a bunch of work stuff piling up and then the love is just another thing on top of that, just things will be a buzz at that point. And it almost seems like it almost seems like there might be multiple people. But then the Two of Pentacles says you'll be able to get through that just fine. Stay adaptable while trusting you are being led toward a place of stable growth. Yeah. Yeah. It could be, it could even be a flurry of potential partners. Okay. And then there was the love marriage or arranged marriage. I think I'm getting a mix of both. So, yeah, there might be. Yeah, I don't know how arranged marriages work. So, whether or not, no, they would probably only arrange one at a time. I'm pretty sure that's practice. But you might have relationships in parallel. Is that the right way to put it? Like you might be pursuing a love relationship while your parents pursue an arranged relationship or something like that. The Two of Pentacles would say to trust that you'll go through that and end up with the right person. If you are ending up with the arranged person, which is kind of the impression I would get, it sounds like it'll take enough time that you'll get to fall in love with them. Or at least you'll have the start of that. Excuse me. Of course, if it is arranged, you probably haven't had as much time to get to know the person, which then would make a whole lot of sense why there's all that initial conflict and standing firm with one another. So, yeah. I said we would show cards when we recap. Let's go ahead and do that. So we've got burdens, contention, holding firm. Gosh, there was the love aspect, Page of Cups. So much to remember. Start of a relationship and the friend potentially introducing So yeah, that could be going multiple ways because that almost conflicts with the arranged thing going on. So I don't know how those are going to balance out. Um, but yeah, nothing bad per se in any of that. Um, it's just stuff that you'll end up working through, um, which that was always going to be the case. So that's a matter of time and diligence. Um, Joya, you both have a vision for this, um, and I'm pretty sure you guys synergize around that vision, and that's sort of what brings you together and helps keep you together, despite all of that chaos up there. Um, and then the flurry happening leading up to it. Yeah, I'm leaning towards arrange, but then there's also the aspect of referrals. You probably understand how that stuff works better than me, so maybe those aren't at odds with each other. Uh, let's move on to your cards. The easiest set. We've only got 3. The Ace of Wands touched on this part, the flurry, so that might give us some more information. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles and the Lovers. So let me set that down. And our guide is big, perfect. So Ace of Wands. This was touching on the duo. There we go. An auspicious. Oh, then it ran away for no good reason. Let's see. It doesn't want to find it. Oh boy. Let's just find the 2 of Wands and scroll. That'll be faster. Okay. Ace of Wands is auspicious for every aspect of your life. The ace predicts new beginnings and inspires creativity, inventions, and spirituality. A right hand, the hand of receiving, appears from a cloud, offering a single wand. 18 light bursts emanate from this wand, signifying hope, based on the tree of life pathway that this card represents. The bursts represent an awakening of spirit and revived spirituality that brightens your life. There may be a heightened sexual desire in you that may be typo here, let's see. There may be a heightened sexual desire in you may be going through, which could bring excitement or birth new ideas. This is a fertile time in every part of your life, from conceiving new ideas and creative projects to beginning a new relationship to birthing a child. So yeah, that synergizes well with the flurry that was going on. It's interesting that it's a little more on the 2 of Pentacles. So that was so much stuff. Balance and decisions are the keywords there. And I think I was getting that there might be multiple people that you need to sort through, and you need to trust that you'll come through and end on stable ground. Ace of Wands is very much in line with that. That's also speaking to multiple parts of your life. So, and that's similar with the flurry. It could be a flurry not just in work. It could be a flurry in romance as well. But I think one of the key things that's going to be more specific to you is the energy, the almost enthusiasm, I would say, that's brightening everything up. As far as the sexual stuff, clearly this is about romance and marriage. So I think that already has its place there. Okay. Okay, so that was Ace of Wands. Let's go on to Four of Pentacles, and then we'll end with the Lovers. Is a card associated with financial security. Two hands holding onto the coin as if afraid to let it go. This card can often symbolize greed, selfishness, possessiveness. There is also another meaning behind this card, and that is protection. The Four of Pentacles represents protecting your heart in order to feel safe and secure. This energy can be understood in the context of a relationship where one person may be creating a wall and closing off their partner. If you have suffered past hardships, this card tells you that tough times are over. Your work has paid off. Remember that this is a card of stability, yet you can still preserve your well-being by setting healthy boundaries. And let me just make sure I'm getting that right. You've suffered past hardships. The card tells you that tough times are over. Your work has paid off. Yeah. I mean, as you're reaching the horizon of this new relationship, this new, well, eventually chapter of your life, it sounds like all the hardships that you've gone through, and this is more romantic as far as I can tell. I know Pentacles and whatnot usually deals with material and finances, but I think this is leaning on the protections you've put on your heart and whatnot. You've gotten to a point where you're moderating them well, and you're open enough, and in a sense opening up with the enthusiasm we get from the Ace of Wands. So I don't know if your tough times are already behind you or if you've still got more to come. But yeah, you're going to reach a very happy medium when you get to this point. And then, of course, there's the enthusiasm that follows with all of this flurry. And then the Lovers. Wait, good. There we go. Indicates relationships and decisions. Sometimes this card will show up when you are at a crossroads in your life. There may be a big choice on your horizon. The Lover's card can predict meeting a new partner or a career opportunity. Your choice and decision will significantly affect your future. The person who has entered your life has a positive influence and may offer true love. Follow your heart, not your mind. If you are already in a relationship, it is time to take it to a deeper level. The message is to follow your heart's desire. Which, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. Because even on the other side, we didn't have a whole lot of logic, a whole lot of that mental clarity. There's a lot of intuition, trusting the higher power, and trusting yourself, in a sense, and your emotions. Pretty sure, given that we got this more in you, I think the part that sticks out the most, well, I guess there's two. We already touched on the message is to follow your heart's desire, but the other part that's standing out the most is the person who has entered your life has a positive influence and may offer true love. And while that's speaking somewhat to the partner, it's speaking to the positive influence they're having on you, as well as the true love you're looking for, which, well, that's what you want in this reading anyways. You didn't want terror and destruction and whatnot. So I think that's good. Assuming you didn't want terror and destruction. Some people. But yeah, we'll recap. There's not as much to this one. And let me... Okay, yeah, we're on that. So enthusiasm coming in, a lot of energy just in your life in general. It's not specific to romance. Same with the flurry down there. Um, but yeah, there's an enthusiasm and energy. Emotionally, your walls, whatever they may be, are in a good place. They're not too high, they're not too low either. Um, so you're moderating well in that regard. And then lovers, like this person is basically blessing your life. Um, and you'll be able to tell that. And then, well, and there's the trusting your heart. Um, that's probably going to be the more important for you at that time. I don't know if you get cluttered in your headspace or however, whatever they call it these days, but um, yeah, I guess for you there was a lot of trusting that this works out, that it works through. Because I mean, there's some chaos and confusion that happens with the news here. Um, in the future, there's that conflict, but we're not dealing with that now. And then your partner themselves, I mean, they've got their own stuff. They've got their own conflicts that they work through. Um, so yeah, yeah. So yeah, we didn't get a time, but these are the aspects we're going to be looking for. For you personally, you're in a great place emotionally. You're stable and moderating well your emotions. You've got an enthusiasm. Um, you'll see this person blessing your life. They'll be in it, although it might not be clear to you who they are. But that's going to work itself out. In the relationship, there's going to be that initial struggle. Not that it's all bad. Um, it's just stuff you'll need to work through. It's the differences between people. And then we've been so long on this. Oh, this took an hour. Wow. Um, but yeah, they've gone through hard times. Um, they still work through hard decisions. But silver lining is probably the strong thing there. They've got that bright future. They see the possibilities, and you've got that knight in shining armor backing it. So, silver lining person, you're in a stable place and enthusiastic. And then there's going to be a flurry. So I don't know if you'll be able to recognize that flurry when it kicks in. I mean, amidst that chaos, that's really hard. But the fact is, you're just trusting it to work itself out for the most part. So I don't know if you really need to watch for that. So, okay. All right. So that's everything there. I kind of hope it's near future so you can come tell me how on point that was. But it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. We had someone pop in. Where was it? Xena. Will my friend Jennifer give me info on these classes for Fat Burner to work and get certified? Thank you. I don't think Xena's still on, so no offense, but I think I'm going to pass on doing a reading for this. I prefer more serious stuff. And part of this is I'm just not understanding. Gosh, I mean, just even trying to make sense of this. Your friend giving you info on classes. And get certified. fat burner classes. I mean, it almost sounds like a Ponzi scheme. Or it's probably, what is it? MLM, multi-level marketing. Um, I mean, technically legal, but yeah, just the impression I'm getting from this question is whether or not they do, you should not be pursuing that. I mean, if you've got weight loss goals or something, if that's what you're trying to get at, by all means pursue that. But if this is a finance thing, um, not that I'm sure I'm reading it right, this doesn't sound like the right solution. Um, so, okay, I'm going to clean up cards. If you've got questions, by all means, drop them in. I'll shuffle for a bit. It's also been a long session, so we might call that a day. And actually, I'm going to take a picture of this anyways for social media. So, yeah, I think we'll just call it there. Keep it simple on myself. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got questions, gosh, I want to say reach out to me, but there's a good chance I can't keep up if people actually start doing that. So, yeah, next week we'll be streaming same time, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Schedule might be in flux after that, but we'll commit to next week for now. And yeah, take care. Have a great weekend. Love you guys.